Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore semua. Kedengeran nggak ya suaranya? Kedengeran suaranya?
Dengar.
Uh, kita akan mulai dalam waktu 2 menit ya, sambil nunggu teman-teman yang lain untuk untuk join. Halo teman-teman, apa kabar? Pengen denger kehadirannya dulu, teman-teman semuanya silakan nongol di chat. Silakan nongol di chat. Ada suaranya? Oh, ada.
Aman, suara terdengar.
Wah, sip. Oke, halo teman-teman. Ada Catherine, Ronaldo, Rizka, Nura, Sabrina, banyak banget. Alhamdulillah kita. Oke, di awal sebelum kita mulai acaranya, sebelum aku opening dulu, untuk suara, tolong di mute dulu ya, biar teman-teman bisa mendengar lebih jelas suara dari MC dan suara dari pematerinya nanti. Selamat sore semuanya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat datang di acara pertama Career Path Class Batch 1 2020. Kelas ini diinisiasi oleh Studek Internasional bekerja sama dengan Youth Venture Malaysia. Jadi, course ini Studek course diinisiasi untuk menghadirkan pelatihan-pelatihan skill dan keterampilan buat teman-teman yang ingin menambah keterampilan, ingin meningkatkan kalian di luar sekolah formal. Jadi kebetulan juga lagi pandemi. Kita tahu kalau karena pandemi ini kita jadi tidak bisa gerak terlalu bebas. Teman-teman juga banyak nggak bisa kuliah. Kuliahnya juga sekolah dan kuliahnya juga harus dari rumah. Tapi kita kan berharap semoga teman-teman tetap bisa menambah wawasan, tetap bisa menggali potensi dengan mengikuti course-course ini. Nah, seperti yang tadi, perkenalkan, saya Naisha dari Studi Course yang kedepannya akan menemani teman-teman ngobrol lebih banyak tentang course-course yang akan ada. Dan mungkin kalau kita ketemu lagi di course-course selanjutnya kita akan ngobrol lebih banyak. Acara ini hari ini pematerinya awalnya ada 2 ya, ada Kak Dea dari iPrize dan ada Kak Hanif dari Youth Venture. Tapi sayangnya Kak Dea tadi mendadak banget diminta oleh atasannya untuk kembali ke kantor karena memang Kak Dea salah satu orang yang cukup dipandang di kantornya di iPrize. iPrize ini semacam e-commerce yang lagi naik daun di Malaysia. Kalau di kita mungkin semacam Shopee atau Tokopedia dan lain-lain ya. Makanya Kak Dea tuh sebenarnya pengen sharing banget sama kita karena dia pengen cerita perjalanan dia sebagai anak Indonesia yang bisa bekerja di company besar di Malaysia gitu. Tapi selanjutnya course yang lain ke depan kita akan beberapa course lagi tentang karir. Semoga ke depan bisa ngobrol sama Kak Dea ya. Ini pertama kita akan ngobrol dengan Kak Hanif. Jadi Kak Hanif Marzuki ini adalah CEO Youth Venture Malaysia. Dia menginisiasi berbagai acara training dan mentorship. Dan kebetulan setelah ini akan ada Global Youth Employability Bootcamp yang diinisiasi oleh Kak Hanif di bawah Youth Venture. Jadi teman-teman semuanya, halo teman-teman yang
Sudah di sini. Hello guys, hello everyone. Selamat malam.
Ini Kak Hanif ini dari Malaysia ya, jadi dia ngomongnya bahasa Inggris dan bahasa Melayu.
Yeah.
Tapi bahasa Melayu kan mirip-mirip sama bahasa Indonesia, jadi pasti bisa dipahami sama teman-teman.
Yeah.
Nah teman-teman yang ikut acara ini punya kesempatan untuk ikut Global Youth Employability Bootcamp. Nanti linknya kita sebar via WhatsApp dan via email. Nah, bootcamp yang diadakan Kak Hanif di industri, terutama industri global yang ada di Malaysia. Apa yang perlu kalian persiapkan untuk bisa kerja di sana. Nah, nanti kalian akan dapat ilmunya dengan ikut di bootcamp itu. Selama 2 hari. Kalian juga akan mendapat pelatihan digital skill, dan juga tentang SDGs. Selain itu, kalau kalian di bootcamp selama 2 hari itu aktif, menunjukkan pencapaian yang baik, terus kalau misalnya nanti ada tugas-tugas di pelatihan itu kalian punya penilaian, punya hasil yang bagus, kalian punya kesempatan untuk magang di company-company atau industri yang bekerja. Jadi harap teman-teman semoga diterima pemaparan dari Kak Halai, biar kalian bisa mulai mempersiapkan untuk ikut bootcamp-nya dan mempersiapkan untuk kalau kalian ingin bekerja di company. Nah, tema hari ini kalian akan career map. Jadi guys, impian itu sama pentingnya dengan mempersiapkan. Aku pengen banget jadi dokter, aku pengen banget punya perusahaan gede, aku pengen banget gaji 100 juta per bulan. Tapi kalian nggak punya rencana mau kemana. Kalian tuh bingung gitu loh, gimana caranya biar bisa punya gaji 100 juta per bulan. Atau biar bisa punya company sendiri, biar bisa punya bisnis sendiri, dan lain-lain. Nah, itulah nanti Kak Hanif akan cerita kenapa sih career map itu penting, kenapa sih ikut pelatihan-pelatihan, kursus, atau memperkuat skill itu penting, nggak cuma sekolah formal aja, cuma kuliah aja. Ada hal-hal yang harus kalian pelajari di luar pendidikan formal. Nah, nanti akan dibahas lebih banyak oleh Kak Hanif. Nah, teman-teman, kalau ada pertanyaan nanti silakan di kolom chat ditanyakan. Kalian jarang bisa ketemu Kak Hanif ya, teman-teman. Jadi mohon baik-baik. Kak Hanif, apa kabar?
Ya, baik, baik. Ya, thank
Baik-baik. Kak
you,
Hanif udah
Naisha.
siap
Ya,
untuk
ya, ya.
share?
Sudah.
Sudah. Oke,
Ya.
teman-teman, mohon di-mute dulu suaranya, nanti kita akan baru hidupin kalau udah sesi akhir Q&A. Kak Hanif, aku persilakan. Kalau ada pertanyaan, silakan di aja ya, teman-teman.
Okay, thank you, Naisha. Thank you everyone who actually here, arrive online. Terima kasih kepada rakan-rakan saya di Indonesia. Now we are live daripada Malaysia. Dan saya harap that my sharing today akan menjadi bermanfaat. It will be useful to everyone. And if you have any question, ada apa-apa soalan, pertanyaan, sila usulkan di dalam chat box, and I will try my best to answer your question. And if I can't answer your question, I'll get back to you guys and then make sure that your question will be answered. So pada hari ini saya akan bahagikan presentasi saya ataupun my presentation or my speech to 2 parts. The first part is general, which is your career path. So sesiapa yang tak kisahlah kamu semua belajar kuliah, you need to know future industry. Dan juga pada hari ini saya juga akan perkenalkan kepada kamu semua tentang Global Youth Employability Bootcamp, dalam mana kita mempunyai kerjasama bersama Sudak dalam menjalankan program ini. So the first one is about your career. So Naisha, can you enable my screen sharing? Yeah. So I will share my screen and we will share to you. I have prepared a special slide, satu slide yang khas menjadi lebih employable, become more employable for the national market. So we have can we enable screen sharing for a while? Ya, sebelum itu, can I just know quickly inside the chat box, kalian semua daripada mana? Like location wise, because I want to know like who am I talking to, daripada mana. So quickly inside the chat box, nak tahu daripada mana asalnya. Wah, Amazing. Saya pergi, some tak pernah pergi, tak pernah tahu. Bondowoso, Jogja. Okay, I want to ask one question. This is like, I think a question yang kebanyakan orang Malaysia ada. What is the difference between Yogyakarta and Jakarta? Is Yogyakarta the long name for Jakarta? I think for Naisha to name my screen sharing. Okay, it's a difference. Yeah. I've actually in Indonesia, I've been to Jakarta when I was a kid back then. And because I am from Johor, so we always go to Batam, Tanjung Pinang, pernah pergi. And then with student, we went to Bali. I went to Bali also, I think, in that area. Okay, so now I will share my screen and we shall continue to our session. So guys, thank you for warming up with me. Jika ada pertanyaan, quickly inside the chat box and saya akan kongsikan the answer. So I hope you can see my screen. Juga saya juga nampak the chat box. So jika ada apa-apa masalah, if you have any issue, any question, sila ketengahkan di dalam chat box. So for today, we will focus on future career options or future career path for Southeast Asian graduate. Untuk pengetahuan all of you guys, for your information, due to COVID, ada dua impak yang terjadi kepada our economy. So the negative impact is unemployment. Banyak ataupun ramai pekerja dibuang kerja ataupun ramai fresh graduate yang baru habisan kuliah, they can't get any job. But the positive impact is number one, everything is on a same level playing field. Maksudnya semuanya sekarang sudah sama. You can just apply for any jobs, and when the economy starts, you can just apply for any jobs, and it will be a good opportunity for you to actually market yourself within the job market, not just in your own country, but actually globally. So first and foremost, before we actually dive into our main topic, I would like to share you a bit of myself. I am actually a community builder from Cyberjaya, Malaysia. So jika kamu datang bersama program SUDEK, you can, I mean, when the travel ban dah diangkat, jika ada program ke Malaysia, come to Malaysia, for sure you will be abroad in Cyberjaya, a tech city in Malaysia. So I also run youth ventures with my friends here in Cyberjaya. We do a lot of cool stuff, helping youth doing amazing things. So we would like to share the activities that we have in Malaysia globally to our friends in Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, and across all Southeast Asia. That's why we actually launched Employability Bootcamp, which is a platform for youth in Southeast Asia untuk berkenalan with each other and work together and ultimately dapat peluang untuk interview for potential employment in any respective countries. So the key of actually understanding how to actually set your career path. Kebanyakan daripada kita apabila kita sedang berkuliah, we actually don't know the real situation, I mean the real employment situation ataupun dari industri punya situation. Kebanyakan daripada kita, we habis our kuliah, we expect, okay, we send in our resume, hantarkan kita punya CV, and we expect to get into an interview dan dapat pekerjaan dan dapat good salary dan sebagainya. But reality is not as simple as that. So that's why I always share to my friends generally, when you actually try to plan for your career after kuliah, selepas kuliah, you actually need to understand the ABC concept, macam kecap sos pekat manis ABC. Like first, get a job, like any job, just to sustain yourself, just to acquire a few skill sets. And then you need to evolve to getting a better job. So better job is it is in line with your career path, is this in line with the skill sets that you need, and ultimately then you get a career. So this is not a 1 day, 2 day journey, bukan perjalanan 1 atau 2 hari. This is actually a 5 years, 10 years punya journey, and it all start with you planning your career path. Mulakan dengan anda plan anda punya perjalanan kehidupan. So untuk pengetahuan semua, cara-cara atau how do you determine your career path? If you guys have a chance to join Global Youth Employer Bootcamp, please register. Everyone, please register and chance to actually join the bootcamp. You will actually learn how to create your own career map. But right now, I'm just gonna share you briefly on how do you determine your career path. So first and foremost, anda perlu kenali diri anda. Understand what is your strength and weaknesses. Apakah kekuatan anda and apakah kelemahan anda. So when you understand what is your strength, you will understand what is the career list or career opportunities that is within your strength. And when you understand what is your weakness, you will understand what kind of jobs that you need to avoid or what kind of skill sets that you need to improve upon yourself. And then what you need to do is make a list of occupations or make a list of jobs that you would like to explore. So as you know, the first rule is get a job. Apa-apa pekerjaan. So do understand that in starting your career, you need to start by actually putting yourself in the market. Tak kisahlah pekerjaan itu pekerjaan yang anda suka ataupun tidak, as long as it is a paying job, it can give you experience, it can give you skills. Please, and it can help you to start your working and your daily life. Just get a job, and then like moving forward after you determine the industry and the type of pekerjaan that you actually want, you should actually conduct informal interviews ataupun pergi berjumpa dengan orang yang berada di dalam that industry. Those who are general manager ataupun yang tadi bekerja di iPrice, which is actually a big company, not just in Malaysia but across Southeast Asia. So she's a very lucky woman to be working in that company. So conduct interview, ask people who have experience doing the job or who have experience within the industry. Contohnya, if you want to be a government servant, you know, go to meet government servant and ask them like, what is it like to be a government servant? What is the challenges? What is the opportunities that I can get if I become a government servant? So in conducting the interviews, make it informal. Conduct the interview in a way where you are trying to make meaningful content, hubungan yang berkualiti with the interviewers. And next is make your career choice. Ini yang paling susah, but you need to do it. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you finish your kuliah? It doesn't mean that you will be, but it gives you a direction, satu arah. You know, when you want to go somewhere, especially in a big Indonesia, you know, you need to have your ways. And because why? Kenapa perlu ada ways ataupun Google Map? Kerana kamu perlukan arah. You want to know where you want to go from point A to point B. So that's why you need to decide on a career path. Pilih satu career path bukan kerana itu yang anda akan buat, but because that is the direction that you want to take. And when you understand what is your direction, then you can set your goals. If you want to be an engineer, be the best engineer at the most. Be the top engineer at a big company, gives you high pay. So identify what is your goal, what is the solid or tangible outcome that you want within your life, and take, not just write, but take your career plan to action. Maksudnya lalui perjalanan tersebut. Okay, so right now I'm going to share to you. Tadi dalam scope yang sangat makro, which is a very big scope. So everyone can tell you need to assess yourself, tahu kekuatan anda, pilih kerjaya yang anda inginkan, buat goal dan kerja goal tu. Everyone can do that. But what I'm going to share to you today is something deeper, yaitu bagaimana if you want to do that right now. So how do you do that? How do you actually find people to talk to, conduct informal interviews? How do you make a career list and make your career choice right now? Okay, so what you need to understand, the main reason ataupun why Southeast Asian youth is less preferred to be employed is because number one, there is mismatch in qualification. Number two, they don't have industry experience, and number three, they are not accustomed to work environment. So maksud bukannya graduate from Southeast Asia tidak berkualiti ataupun they can't get the job done. It is just that number one, which is the main point of everything, you want to be A, but you are studying B. So when you graduate or when you finish your kuliah, you realize that, wow, I actually don't want to become an engineer. So that is the biggest issue here. So you realize that, you know, when the problem about Southeast Asian mentality, any options to fail, you do not have any ruang, any flexibility to actually get a second, third option. So kebanyakannya, it's only because they realize that they are not suited for the industry. The next one, which is the biggest reason kebanyakan syarikat akan memberitahu anda, which is anda tiada pengalaman. You guys have no experience. So we do understand that during university, you learn how to create your own proposals. You go out, go into events, go into programs from not just inside Malaysia, from outside Malaysia. Not just inside Indonesia, you go programs outside of Indonesia. But when you go bring all that certificate to your potential employee, they will tell you straight in your eyes that this is not relevant industry experience. So now you tell me I don't have any experience, but you don't give me any job. How on earth do I gain my experience? So that is a question that's been bouncing around all young people. So right now, you need to understand the definition of industry experience is you need to do your task or you need to do your job as per industry standard. When you create your proposal, you need to understand how do you actually create a proper budget. How do you actually create a proposal that can be a project for certain companies. So that is the key skill sets that you need to actually understand. Okay, there's a Hanky Fernando, raise hand, so you can ask your question. Just turn on your mic, or you can just put inside your chat box.
Yeah, we'll have Q&A after your presentation.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we will have
nanti
Q&A.
pertanyaannya di akhir ya teman-teman.
Baik. Yeah. Okay. So and finally, they are not accustomed to work environment. Maksudnya mereka tidak tahu how is it like to actually work within a company, how to actually interact with other people within the company. So that is on the youth punya masalah, problems that you face. But on the industry punya masalah, the industry face is you usually choose mature industry. So for my definition, like the definition of a mature industry is you've always choose space that is crowded. For example, oil and gas. For example, working as a government servant. So all of that job is actually filled. It is a mature industry. It is with people with a lot of experience. So now, actually sell yourself to the market. So what sets your path astray usually is, again, over or underqualified qualification or vertical mismatch, usually due to youth do not understand what is the requirement of the industry, and they do not understand what is the field of studies they need to go to when they are actually if they are aiming for specific career path. And finally, when it's the career mismatch, which is when they do not have the specific or required skills that they need or that they need to have to actually execute that job. So the main issue is when you go into your university ataupun bila anda pergi di dalam universiti anda, when you actually talk to when you actually learn within your kuliah, you are actually learning outdated information. You are not learning updated information that is in line with the industry. And right now, where the university, di mana dalam education system hanya memperkenalkan skill-skill yang berbentuk teori, theoretical knowledge, what you need to do, what you need to equip yourself is things that is that cannot be, is not tangible and can be, for example, soft skills such as creativity, entrepreneurship, and innovative skills, and also social and emotional skills like your leadership skills, service skills, social skills, management skills, and emotional intelligence skills. So other than having cognitive, social, and emotional skills, you also need to equip yourself, lengkapkan diri anda dengan digital skills, skill digital. So now we dive into digital skills. So if you want to know one of the top 10 skills that you need to know, you need to understand, it won't change. Like number one, it is your complex problem solver skills. But the next one, it's critical thinking. So why in 2020, according to World Economic Forum, critical thinking is very important? It is due to the pandemic. Due to the pandemic, business realized that they need to have a business continuity program where they actually run the business in any situation. So in a company right now, they need people who can have critical thinking, who can think on their feet, make fast action, and move forward regardless of the obstacle. So one of the skills that you still need, which is negotiation skills, people management, and your emotional intelligence. Because right now, especially in Malaysia, we are now in quarantine. I mean, we have now passed quarantine. But during quarantine, 3 bulan berkurung di dalam rumah, a lot of people face through emotional problems. So hence why companies realize that even though it's a lot of problems. So here, look at the job landscape. So what are the top emerging jobs that will be available in the future? Not now, but in the future, 2 years in the future. What number one and number two, data analyst scientist and AI machine learning specialist. So these two category of employment is actually divided into many job opportunities. Background in law. So the reason why is right now, if you look at things moving forward in the future, data is king. Data is actually driving industry 4.0. So now everything is autonomous, everything revolves around Internet of Things, cybersecurity, and analytics. So you need to understand that it is not the industry that is changing, it is job function and managing the audit for the company. Right now, you need to understand specific softwares. You need to understand why that's, you need to analyze the profit and loss within the company and tell the CEOs within the company or the higher ups within the company what can be done to increase the profit and cut the loss or cut the cost. So all of that decision making is data centric. It is you analyzing the data. Moving forward in the future, even if you're a doctor, you won't just go inside, meet people and analyze that and tell them that kamu sakit demam, kamu sakit sesama, you have flu. No, moving forward in the future, what doctors will do is they just look at a screen, analyze data, and decide what kind of medicines that they need to give to you. So that is everything moving forward in the future. So also moving forward in the future, things like pembedahan menggunakan robot, things like jurisdiction, things like government, e-government will be a normal thing. So sekarang, if you look at Indonesia, you guys are moving forward so fast, taking big CEOs, big startup founders to become the minister. For example, the founder of Gojek to become the Minister of Education. So that, I mean, I don't understand. I do not know your perception or your perspective on that. But this is how we see it in Malaysia. So the way we see it in Malaysia, if a government is open in hiring anyone, When I say anyone, I mean anyone who have rough things like data-centric, big data analytics, everything will be implemented across all verticals of industry. Saya bagi contoh ya, in the future, contohnya polis, the policing system in Indonesia. Now, maybe polis biasa saja boleh pergi saman orang, boleh tangkap orang dan sebagainya. Maybe in the future, police in Indonesia will be like in Malaysia, where I don't know whether they have implemented in Indonesia, but in Malaysia, every police have a camera right now. So with that camera, you can see how the police interact with the people. And on the back end, you can now really identify who is doing their job and who is taking makan rasuah dan sebagainya. So that is what they do in Malaysia. So moving forward, technology is a very beautiful thing. Imagine dalam polis pun dah perlukan ada IT people. Dalam even in the government, you need a chief technology officer in Singapore. So if you at Singapore, there is a chief technology officer of Singapore. So moving forward, it won't just be technology, but the whole industry is about to change. Okay, so again, I'm just going to move. I'm sorry to take a lot of time, but I'm going to move forward very quickly on the Southeast Asian landscape. You need to understand that in Southeast Asia, the digital landscape in Southeast Asia, 662 million population, and if you look at the mobile subscription in Southeast Asia, it's 853 million. The number is growing. And when we talk about future industry, one of the most biggest future industry is e-commerce. And you look at this number across vertical, we are not just talking e-commerce as one industry, we are talking about the categories, the vertical of categories. In Southeast Asia alone, $5.75 billion is allocated for fashion and beauty. So imagine the job opportunity, peluang pekerjaan, accountant, lawyers, startup founders dan sebagainya. And electronics. So if you look here, the biggest is travel, which is 26 billion. And right now travel dah kosong, but don't see it as a negative. You know, now see it as sekarang Trivago, Agoda semua sudah buang pekerja, and they need innovation. They need young people to change the country, change their company. So moving forward, when the travel ban has been lifted, COVID-19 has been dah settle down, travel industry will triple or double from the numbers that we have now in Southeast Asia. And bear in mind, this is just numbers from January 2019. And one of the key segments that I want you to look at is actually gaming. So dekat dalam Southeast Asia, di dalam Southeast Asia, $1.4 billion of gaming. And due to COVID, kebanyakan orang duduk di dalam rumah main Mobile Legends, main PUBG ataupun COD. They play competitively. This number is growing. So what do I mean by it is growing? So if you look at the e-sport segment, the prize pool in Manila, Vietnam, Philippines, Manila, the prize pool is $250,000. If you win that, Malaysia, kamu jadi jutawan, RM1 juta. So, right now, if you tell your parents, cita-citaku, I want to be an e-sports player, ingin menjadi seorang pemain game. Right now is the time because times are changing. The industry is changing. So I met one guy. He told me, an industry player, and he told me all of the data back then is not relevant. Right now we are starting from zero. So now is the way to move forward, and this is the future. So if you hear, this is an advertisement today. 3,000 ringgit, I don't know how much is it in rupiah, for a content creator, a TikTok content creator. They pay, my Burger Lab is a burger shop in Malaysia, pay 3,000 ringgit for you to create content on TikTok a month. And I went through Glassdoor just to take a look at the job opportunities in Jakarta. So if you look here, the keyword is e-commerce. So there's a lot of e-commerce opportunity, not just for technical people, but e-commerce executive, e-commerce manager, and work from home social media evaluator. And if you look at esports in Jakarta, not in Malaysia or in Southeast Asia, but in Jakarta alone, there are people who are actually hiring for esports like Garena Indonesia, strategic operation, gaming analyst, journalists for esports. So you see, these are the career path that we want to show to you guys, internet-driven careers. And if we look at here, content creative content creator, yang tadi kita tengok di Malaysia, TikTok RM3,000. Also in Jakarta, TikTok, brand content strategist. Yes, you know, this is the future. And this company is not paying you in ringgit tau. They are paying you in dollars. They are not paying you in rupiah, they are paying you in dollars. And the amount of recognition that you get if you work for them is actually amazing. So please guys, the future is still. Right now, you don't have a LinkedIn, register for LinkedIn. So how do you talk to people? How do you actually interview people within your job vertical? Register to LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn and find people within Indonesia that understand about how to be an esports manager, how to be a social media manager, how to be a content creator. That is the way where you need, how do you make yourself different right now from everyone else? How do you want to differentiate yourself? Is actually you have, you interact with them right now ketika kamu sedang berkuliah. So because right now in LinkedIn also, the way you can get international or big companies to hire you, you know, they check you guys in LinkedIn and you can search jobs within LinkedIn. And also Angels List is a good place to actually learn or get jobs. So please get in touch with us, hit us on our email, and I'm also available on Instagram at the Marzuki. But right now we will go to the most important part. So just now I shared to you the overview of future industry and the kind of future skills that you need to have. But we have an opportunity for everyone. Student Indonesia and a few partners within Malaysia and Brunei has actually came together, band together, and provide a platform for Southeast Asian graduates to actually learn about future skills and future industry. So it will happen 18 and 19 of July, which is in another week. And the most important part is during the boot camp, you will learn skills that is relevant for your future and also industries that is relevant for the future. We have amazing speakers. We have a PhD candidate coming in. We have a founder of a social enterprise. We have a guy who works at Asian Development Bank and a guy who studied at MBA at Asian School of Business. So amazing people to be the speakers, including me, Hanif, and also Anik, my partner to you about future skills and future. And ultimately, what will happen after the program is you can actually get a chance to be interviewed by amazing companies in Malaysia and Brunei, and we are still finding companies in Indonesia, and you guys can get a chance to have internship or part-time jobs with them. So what will happen for the 2 days bootcamp is you will work together with youth across Southeast Asia. Right now, we are deciding 20 from Malaysia, 20 from Indonesia. You guys will work together and learn how to work in the in the future for free. So what will you get is you will be able to experience virtual work simulation. Untuk 2 hari tu 18-19, you guys will be on the internet 10 AM up until 4 PM together with 40 participants di Indonesia dan Malaysia, and try to work on a project together, explore industrial skills that we will share to you, experience digital skills, kita akan ajar you macam mana nak design, macam mana nak buat video, and engage with industry key players and also connect you with Southeast Asia's youth. So we will focus more on financial technology, but our focus moving forward in the future is we will have esports, e-commerce, blockchain, drone dan sebagainya. And we will help you to actually unlock your digital skills like coding, video editing, graphic design, digital marketing and data analyst. So right now, you can screen capture right now, boleh screen cap. Check this out. We are calling for application. Check check, Naisha will also share to you guys on the link where you can register. So it is 2 days bootcamp, and for the first cohort, you will learn specifically on financial technology, and will be able to go through a public speaking course, networking opportunity, learn how to create content, video content, and graphic design. So, as Naisha also stated just now, we will also share to you about design thinking and sustainable development goals. So it is an additional value that we believe that you need to have, and we will also share to you on the second day, where you will have a chance to share your ideas to expert judges, and they will tell you on how to improve your future. So ultimately, this is an employment bootcamp. Pergi masuk, you masuk GYEB, ultimately you will become ready untuk bekerja in the future. So Naisha, that is all from me. Thank you, Studak, for giving me a chance to actually share to you about future skills and also GYEB. I would like to open the questions from the floor.
Alright, thank you so much Kak Hanif. Terima kasih banyak Kak Hanif. Jadi teman-teman, aku simpulin dulu. Mungkin ada beberapa teman-teman yang baru masuk tengah-tengah ya, karena beberapa juga koneksinya agak trouble mungkin. Jadi pada dasarnya memang sampai sekarang, terutama karena kita lagi pandemi, bahkan sebelum pandemi aja, mencari lapangan pekerjaan yang sesuai dengan bakat dan minat kita itu tidak mudah. Apalagi sekarang lagi pandemi, banyak sekali sektor-sektor industri yang sedang gulung tikar atau bahkan sedang sangat survive. Terutama salah satunya mungkin sektor di event, I.O, wedding, tourism, bahkan mungkin transportasi, sekolah aja tutup, dan lain-lain. Nah, di sini seperti kata Kak Hanif tadi, data-data tentang employability itu kembali ke nol. Jadi kayak data yang tadi ditunjukin oleh Kak Hanif, kalau ternyata pengeluaran sekian itu masuk ke industri fashion. Sekarang industri tourism itu tinggi banget memang profitnya. Tapi karena pandemi dan karena memang keadaan yang secara global sedang terganggu, semua data itu kembali ke zero, guys. Dan disinilah company-company yang besar itu membutuhkan anak-anak muda dengan inovasi-inovasi baru. Walaupun kalian mungkin tidak punya pengalaman bekerja bertahun-tahun ya, tidak punya pengalaman bekerja sebelumnya. Tapi kalau kalian punya inovasi dan kalian bisa menawarkan ide-ide yang akan sangat berhasil di masa depan, kalian punya kemungkinan besar, peluang besar untuk bisa diterima di industri-industri besar. Kuncinya gimana? Kuncinya adalah melatih potensi kalian. Melatih bagaimana kalian membangun ide, melatih bagaimana kalian merancang inovasi dalam bidang-bidang pekerjaan atau karir yang kalian inginkan, gitu loh. Jadi, sekarang ini bukan waktunya untuk kita mulai sedih, mulai kita mengeluh, menyerah, "Aduh ini dulu aja udah susah cari kerja, apalagi sekarang ya, mana aku lagi masih kuliah, skripsi belum kelar, ada yang masih SMA juga." Ini teman-teman ada yang masih SMA loh. Aku kaget banget kalian sudah punya dengan kalian ikut acara ini, kalian sudah punya niatan untuk merencanakan karir ke depannya, dan itu adalah hal bagus, itu start bagus banget. Jadi, kita mengadakan Karir Path Class ini untuk menekankan bahwa kalian sekarang memang sudah waktunya untuk merancang kembali karir-karir apa yang ingin kalian jalani. Salah satunya adalah dengan ikut Global Youth Employability Camp yang akan diadakan oleh timnya Kak Hanif di Youth Venture Corp Malaysia. Nah, di situ nanti kalian akan belajar lebih banyak tentang bagaimana sih cara membangun potensi diri kita. Kayak aku pengen ke industri sektor bisnis, atau aku pengen membangun industri di bidang kedokteran, aku pengen jadi dokter, dan aku pengen membangun rumah sakitku sendiri, atau dan lain-lain. Intinya kalian mau karir yang seperti apa, kalian harus punya persiapan dulu. Persiapannya gimana, kalian bisa ikut camp ini, gitu loh. Nah, nanti di camp ini juga, kalian akan mendapat kesempatan untuk melihat secara langsung atau punya pengalaman tentang industri-industri di luar Indonesia. Salah satunya Malaysia dan Brunei. Dan kalau kalian menunjukkan hasil yang baik, pencapaian yang baik selama camp, kalian akan punya kesempatan untuk magang di kantor-kantor industri di Malaysia dan Brunei. Sebenarnya nanti Youth Venture ini juga kerjasama dengan Studek, kita akan berusaha untuk mewadahi bekerja sama dengan industri-industri di Indo juga. Tapi guys, kalau kalian bisa kerja di Malaysia dong, atau kalian kerja di Brunei yang mereka dibayarnya dengan USD. Kayak tadi TikTok yang ditunjukin ke Hanif, itu kalian gajinya nggak pakai rupiah, tapi kalian pakai USD. TikTok loh guys, sesuatu yang menyenangkan gitu loh. Dan kalau kalian emang suka banget main TikTok, terus kalian bisa kerja di TikTok, meningkatkan kualitas TikTok untuk anak-anak Indonesia kan itu kayak dreams come true gitu loh. Terus kata Kak Hanif lagi, kalau teman-teman ada yang suka main game, Mobile Legend, contohnya banyak tuh yang suka Mobile Legend. Sebenarnya sekarang industri game segera naik daun. Jadi kalau kalian merasa kalian punya kemampuan di game, kalian suka banget di game dan kalian suka banget kayak game atau merancang tools-nya, desain UI-nya, IT-nya, teknologinya, servernya, kalian juga punya kesempatan untuk meningkatkan itu di camp ini nanti. Jadi silakan ikut. Harus yang udah lulus kuliah ya Kak? Enggak juga. Kalau kalian yang lulus kuliah kan gabut tuh. Kan kuliah belum bisa ke kampus. Kalian keluarnya dari rumah. Nah, jadi kalau kalian ingin menambah informasi, ingin menambah kemampuan lagi, kalian bisa ikut camp ini. Kan campnya ini 2 harinya online. Dan seterusnya kalau kalian dapat magang, baru kalian ke Malaysia. Kalau memang magangnya adalah face to face ya, offline. Siapapun. Itulah kenapa kita bilang teman-teman yang ikut acara ini, gratis guys, gratis. Bootcamp-nya gratis. Bootcamp-nya kalau full English, karena ini yang ada Malaysia, jadi campuran kayak English dan campuran English
we
dan
wanna,
Melayu,
because right
teman-teman.
now we only focus dekat dalam Indonesia dan Malaysia.
Lagi tidak bisa bergerak sebebas dulu ketika kuliah atau sekolah, karena kan harus di rumah ya belajarnya. Makanya kita mengadakan bootcamp ini. Jadi bootcamp-nya bakalan pakai English dan Melayu, tapi kalian kan English itu penting kalau kalian pingin bekerja global. Dan atau kalian pingin kuliah di Amerika atau US atau lebih jauh lagi. Jadi ini juga bisa jadi kesempatan untuk kalian terbiasa dengan bahasa Inggris. Practice makes perfect, right? Jadi kalau kalian sering sekali ketemu atau mau nggak mau harus ngomong English, itu kalian akan bisa lebih improve. Percaya deh sama aku, nah aku adalah korban terpaksa ngomong bahasa Inggris dan akhirnya jadi paham juga gitu ujung-ujungnya. Jadi bootcamp ini tidak hanya untuk yang lulus kuliah, untuk siapa aja yang ingin belajar meningkatkan potensi dirinya dan ingin belajar menata kembali karir mereka. Dan berbayar atau enggak? No, ini gratis ya, gratis. Kalian tinggal ikut tesnya karena slotnya hanya 40, tapi kita akan merekomendasikan ke Youth Venture oleh teman-teman yang udah masuk ini gitu. Jadi jangan khawatir, masuk aja dulu, kalau lolos kalian akan dapat banyak-banyak sekali benefits gitu. Ada pertanyaan, there's question from Henky Fernando. What if our dreams do not match the skill we have? Gimana jika impian kita tidak sesuai dengan keterampilan yang kita miliki? What do you think, Hanif?
This is a very interesting question. What if our dreams do not match the skills that we have? So number one, if you are brave enough to have that dream, it means that you need to be brave enough to actually acquire the skills. Benda yang tak ada, dia punya kuncinya ialah mencari. So if you don't have the skills, go out and find and learn. So one of the ways to learn is maybe you can volunteer at the company, ataupun you can actually go online, belajar di YouTube, ataupun or you can join GYEB, Global Youth Employability Bootcamp, juga a place where you can actually acquire skills.
Itu juga sering banget dengar kata-kata bilang gini, kalau nggak saya itu Soekarno atau Ahmad Dahlan yang bilang, jika kalian harus bermimpi setinggi langit. Kenapa? Karena jika kalian nanti jatuh, setidaknya kalian akan jatuh di antara bintang-bintang. Jatuh di antara bintang-bintang itu artinya setting sudah berani mempunyai mimpi itu. Jadi sebenarnya kalian itu punya potensi untuk menjalankan itu. Tinggal sejauh mana kalian berani mengejar atau membuktikan diri kalau potensi itu ada gitu loh. Aku saja tidak pernah berani menjadi dokter. Kenapa? Karena aku merasa aku tidak punya potensinya. Gitu. Tapi aku berani kalau aku akan pernah aku berani banget, aku yakin aku bisa kuliah ke luar negeri gitu loh. Kalau kalian punya keberanian itu aja, sebenarnya kalian tuh punya potensi untuk mewujudkannya. Tinggal kalian mau mengejar itu atau enggak. Itu aja sih. Kalau impian kita tidak sesuai dengan keterampilan kita, berarti kamu milih ngikutin keterampilan yang kamu punya atau mengejar impianmu dengan menggali keterampilan yang mungkin kamu belum ketemu aja. Nanti kamu
Well
pun
said,
ketemu.
Naisha, well said.
Dan kalaupun nanti kamu ketemu keterampilan yang ternyata cocok dengan impian itu, berarti kamu udah punya dua keterampilan dong. Satu, keterampilan yang kamu miliki dari kecil udah tahu. Dua, keterampilan yang dengan kerja keras kamu dapat. Dan itu nganterin kamu ke impianmu. That's a big deal, guys. Dan kalau kalian, kuncinya adalah berani nekat. Itu. Kuncinya berani nekat. Kayaknya Kak Hanif, Kak Anik, Kak Mira, orang-orang Youth Venture ini adalah orang-orang yang nekat dulu baru sukses gitu loh. Kayak kita tuh orang-orang hebat yang sering aku temui itu adalah orang-orang yang sangat-sangat nekat mengambil kesempatan gitu. Walaupun mereka harus bekerja sangat keras. Dan aku percaya teman-teman di sini bisa melakukan itu. Next question from Faiha Azka. Kak, what is your perceptions about this digitalization toward major that relies on human service? Oh, sepertinya ini berhubungan Kak Karina, mohon di-mute dulu dong. Nanti ngobrol sama Kak Karina ya. Digitalizations, what kind of digital enhancement that we can imply in order to able compete just like other sector?
Okay, so
Mungkin
this
ini
is a very interesting question. So what we need to understand, apa yang kita perlu faham, across all industry is semua syarikat ataupun semua organisation they want to achieve efficiency, melakukan sesuatu yang lebih murah, mudah ataupun cepat. So same goes to human punya service, human nature. So what, especially in the human nature service, what they want is a reduce of risk, kurangan risiko, pengurangan kegagalan or reduce of failure. So the things or the technology that you can use is, you know, as I shared to you, you know, moving forward it's all data centric. Kenapa perlukan data? Kenapa? Why did you need not just historical data but digital data? Data ni bukan je economy, not just economy. It is behavior, the way we do things, cara kita pergi kerja, naik Gojek ke, naik Grab ke, you know, everything is a data. And with data, you can actually make a decision. So more data you have, the better your decision. You know, so digital enhancement, it's focusing on data. Anything that is data centric, it is important, especially in service that revolves with humans. Yeah. So itu daripada ya. Yeah.
Jadi sebenarnya we live in the industry era, right? Kita itu ada di era industri dan era digital sebenarnya. Dan kita anak-anak yang lahir di tahun 2000-an itu disebutnya digital native karena mereka terlahir dengan digital di mana-mana. Mungkin teman-teman ada yang punya adik masih TK atau 2 tahun udah bisa buka YouTube padahal belum bisa baca gitu. Nah, jadi sebenarnya pekerjaan-pekerjaan kasar yang bisa digantikan robot. Tapi kalau di bagian beberapa yang lain ada digital yang berbeda lagi. Kalau kalian ingin, tapi ada beberapa skill yang tidak bisa digantikan oleh robot, yang nggak Kak Hanif? Contohnya empathy, leadership.
Exactly.
Ya, empathy, leadership, kemampuan kalian manajemen komputer itu gak akan hidup kalau nggak ada yang ngidupin, guys.
Betul.
Jadi komputer itu adalah benda mati kan kalau belum nggak ada kalian manusia yang ngidupin dan memanfaatkan. Jadi memang jadi kontroversi kecerdasan artifisial atau artificial intelligence itu ditakutkan suatu hari nanti akan menggantikan manusia. Kalau aku sih nggak percaya, karena robot komputer itu nggak punya hati gitu loh. Dan hati itu is a big deal gitu. Karena hati bikin kalian punya mimpi, bikin otak kalian yang tadinya mungkin tidak, yang tadinya hanya bekerja sekian bisa lebih naik lagi. Itu, gitu. Jadi kuncinya adalah kalau kalian bertanya gimana caranya agar kita tetap bisa selalu menang di tengah-tengah digitalizations, tingkatin kamu. Skill-skill yang tidak bisa digantikan oleh robot. Empati kamu, leadership kamu, kemampuan kamu problem solving, critical thinking itu nggak bisa digantikan oleh robot. Kalau robot rusak, kalian bisa benerin. Kalau kalian yang rusak, komputer nggak bisa benerin kalian, gitu loh. Jadi, fokus pada skill-skill yang it's a matter of mastering it,
Ya.
gitu. Jadi, kalau kalian jangan khawatir kalau kalian suka main game, ya udah mastering aja game, tapi kalau kalian punya mimpi pengen jadi game internasional, bagus sih. Kalau punya game yang, impian yang lain ya jangan bikin terus. Apakah ada seleksi untuk mengikuti bootcamp-nya? Ya ada, karena untuk bootcamp pertama kita Youth Venture kuotanya hanya 40 ya. Jadi, pendaftarannya nanti ada formulir pendaftaran, silakan diisi baik-baik, akan dilihat dari di situ untuk 40 pertama. Nanti ada batch 2 ya, Kak Hanif? Ya, nanti ada batch 2. Jadi teman-teman yang belum lolos, jangan khawatir, nanti kita akan infokan lagi. Ada lagi pertanyaan? Is there any questions? Honestly, I didn't think that we will reach this kind of topic gitu loh. Sebenarnya guys, aku kaget kalian nanya tentang digital disruption, kalian tanya tentang artificial intelligence, jauh banget kalian mikirnya sumpah. Jadi kayak aku miss. Jadi kurasa kita bisalah berharap we can expect so much from them, right? Karena mungkin di era pandemi ini banyak orang yang menyerah dan akhirnya tidak ingin berusaha lagi. Tapi kalau ngelihat teman-teman sepertinya kita bisa mendapatkan inovasi-inovasi baru. Oh ya, itu alamatnya ya. Bookletnya ada, nanti kita kirim via email dah ya. Mohon ditunggu di emailnya, nanti kita kirim via WhatsApp juga bisa karena kan ada admin yang akan ngejabri semuanya. Mungkin teman-teman ada yang kelewat ya, karena ada yang masuk di tengah-tengah. Jadi juga, jadi tadi itu juga ngasih beberapa tips kalau kalian mau memulai sebuah karir atau kalian mau mengejar impian kalian. Pertama, assess yourself. Nilai dulu diri kalian. Aku ini siapa? Aku ini gimana? Potensiku apa? Aku sukanya apa? Aku pengennya jadi apa? 10 tahun lagi aku pengen punya apa? Dan lain-lain. Itu dipikirkan. Hal pertama yang harus kalian lakukan untuk memulai sesuatu atau membangun impian adalah assess yourself, kenali diri kamu sendiri. Pertama. Dua, silakan buat list. Silakan buat daftar hal-hal atau pekerjaan-pekerjaan yang ingin kalian explore. Nah, terlepas dari tapi tidak berarti semua itu harus kalian jalani gitu loh. Di antara list-list yang ingin kalian explore, fokus pada satu. Seandainya satu itu tidak berhasil, kalian punya list-list lain yang bisa langsung kalian kerjakan gitu loh. Kenapa? Kayak aku sendiri, aku sering banget ketika hanya punya satu rencana, kemudian itu gagal, udah ngeblank. Aku gini. Dari 10 tahun jadi 5 tahun, 5 tahun jadi 3 tahun, 3 tahun jadi 1 tahun aku akan kuliah, 1 tahun depan aku akan mau magang di Malaysia dan lain-lain. Itu membantu kalian untuk lebih jelas mengetahui kayak secara tidak langsung tubuh ini akan bergerak ke arah impian itu gitu, teman-teman. Boleh ada yang oh, Kak Hanif banyak yang nanya IG-nya Kak Hanif sama Youth Venture. Penutup ya, jadi teman-teman ini jangan lupa untuk tetap ikut bootcamp-nya dan Study Course juga akan mengadakan beberapa course ke depannya. Nantinya Study Course akan banyak bekerja sama dengan Youth Venture untuk mengadakan pelatihan-pelatihan. Kalau Youth Venture akan fokus ke Asia mungkin karena mereka base-nya di Malaysia. Jadi fokusnya skala yang lebih besar lagi. Kalau Study Course mungkin akan fokus ke pelatihan teman-teman untuk bekerja di industri-industri di Indonesia. Kayak misalnya perbankan, ekonomi, stan, perkapalan, dan lain-lain gitu. Nah itu sudah ditulis @themarzuki and @youthventures. Jadi silakan di-follow. Jangan lupa follow Study Course juga ya, untuk kalian tetap update info-infonya. Terima kasih banyak hadir. Aku senang banget karena ini banyak banget yang hadir. Semoga bermanfaat. Selanjutnya akan ada course lagi dengan Youth Venture, nanti kita update di akun Instagram kita mengenai pendaftarannya. Selanjutnya juga akan ada course-course yang lebih detail spesifik sesuai dengan kalian. Misalnya teman-teman perbankan, nanti kita akan adakan course khusus perbankan. Teman-teman yang ingin jadi pebisnis, kita ada course ke depannya. Jadi semoga kita tetap bisa produktif di tengah pandemi dan work and learn from home ini. Oke, makasih Pak Hanif.
Thank you,
Ada
thank you.
pesan-pesan terakhir buat teman-teman?
I hope that everyone had a good time tonight. Ingat apa yang anda buat pada hari ini, it is taking initiative, taking your first step. Don't let this be your last step. If this is your first step, take your second step, your third step, and then finally run towards your dreams. Okay?
Oke, itu makasih banget dari Kak Hanif. Jadi teman-teman, 1 langkah, 2 langkah, 3 langkah, pada akhirnya kalian akan berlari menuju impian kalian. Terima kasih banyak sudah hadir, semoga bermanfaat. Ketemu lagi di kelas-kelas Today Course dan New Venture lainnya. Saya tutup dulu, Naisha di sini dan Kak Hanif, makasih banyak. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yuk dihidupin suaranya, kita bilang makasih sama Kak Hanif bareng-bareng. Makasih Kak. Video
Kak.
ini banyak yang dari SMA kuliah, aduh, terharu. Sampai jumpa di course-course selanjutnya ya teman-teman. Hidupin videonya dong, mau di video, hidupin layarnya dong. Wah, di rumah semua nih. Terima kasih, dadah. Sudah boleh live ya teman-teman, nanti via email dan mas. Assalamualaikum.
Coba email. Sih.